nobody really talks about the middle stage of the cut. And this video is going to be a message to those people that find it in the future and is going through that stage. And I'm also going to project out to my future self that's achieved this six pack, achieved that lean look in the 90 days that this challenge has taken and this experience has gone on for. And it's basically like speaking at this stage that I'm on, which is the middle stage of the cut. And I think that this is genuinely the hardest stage. I think I've just about passed it. When you passed it, when you start getting that four pack, the abs start to come in a little bit, you're looking leaner, your waist is like looking tighter, your trousers are starting to not fit you anymore. And so you're at that stage. But the stage prior to that, and this is a good 4 to 5 weeks. This is genuinely a very taxing, a very draining part of your cut and your journey. Before I get into this a bit more, I just want to apologize. I'm kind of sick right now, so my voice may not be like fully there, and I don't have that much energy. So yeah. But anyway, the middle stage of the cut is when you are doing all the work. You are putting in 110% of all your effort, and it isn't showing. You aren't getting the results, and you're just there grinding day in, day out, and you have so much uncertainty about whether this will work out, right? And I just wanna I just wanna tell you like a few stories that come to mind when I think about this middle stage of the cut. So a couple weeks ago I went to the beach, and honestly I was kind of insecure again because I'm doing this journey, and I know that like I'll get to the point where I want to be, but right now at that point when we went to the beach a couple weeks ago, I wasn't at that stage of my physique where like I wanted to show it off in the beach. So yeah. And but I was still doing all the actions that it took to become lean in 90 days, right? Tracking my macros, being so precise, going to the gym every single day, doing my cardio every single day, training abs, just doing all the actions required. So basically, I was on this like obsessive journey. So to the beach, I took my meal prep, and like I took my meal prep to the beach, and like the people were there, like my friends, so called. Like, obviously, they made fun of me, like because like I wasn't at the point where like it was respectable to do that because I didn't have the six pack and I didn't have the lean physique. But I was still taking my meal prep and taking my calories that like I ate like specific meals every day. I had to have like a specific amount of protein, and I needed that meal because we were going to spend the entire day at the beach, so I had to take it there. And I knew the meals that my parents were going to bring are all like vegetarian nonsense, and they had no protein, high calories, fried in oil and whatnot. So I brought my meal prep, and obviously I got made fun of because I wasn't at the stage where my results were showing. I was doing all the actions, all the work, but nothing to show for it. And that's the most taxing, it's the most draining process of the cut. And it's the process, it's the part where you have to stick with it because only after that point is where you start seeing results. And if you give up when you're at that point, then everything you've done and all the hardship you've gone through during this part is just pointless. I look back to my past where I undertook fitness journeys, right? I went through like a transformation period, but I never like fully got finished with it. I never fully stuck with it long enough to see the result, see the six pack, see the visual result. Because that's when it's important, right? That's the only thing people can see is the visual result. No one gives a shit about how much work you're putting in. No one gives a shit if you're following your diet, if you're hitting your calories, if you're doing your cardio, if you're going to the gym every single day, but you still look like shit. You don't have the six pack, you're not lean. No one gives a fuck. They don't care about that. They don't care that you're doing the process. All they care about is what they see. And what they see is the six pack, is the lean physique, right? That's all they care about. So if that's all they care about, they're not gonna see you do the work. So my point is that I went through this journey like a year or two ago, where I went through this fitness journey, but I was too stupid enough not to like see it all the way through. So I had all the bad parts. I had the part where people were mocking me, people were taking the piss out of me, but I didn't push through long enough because I gave up. I fell to their fucking words, man. That's what it is. Like, I literally gave up because of all the shit that they were yapping. and I didn't see it through, so I didn't have the end result where everyone saw the work that I put in. There's this invisible period that no one talks about, and that's why I'm doing this transformation in the summer, where like I've cut off my ties with all the people I know. I'm not meeting with anyone. I'm just stuck in my own little bubble. I've muted the world and created my own, because that's what I have to do in this period to get the results I want. Because I know that I'm the type of person that falls easily to other people's words, and I know that I can do this. So I need to lock myself up for like this 90-day period and get lean and get aesthetic, get that six pack. Right, that's what matters. Like, I would be so into fitness when I was in year 11, year 12, in the UK. I would go to the gym at lunch. I would make sure I was eating healthy. And there would be like a couple of people that just take the piss out of me. Because like, I've mentioned this before in like other videos, because I was kind of unathletic growing up. I didn't have that like aura about me, like, that like fitness kind of like vibe to me, right? So when I did all of this, it kind of felt like contradictory. So people made fun of me and people like took the piss, which I was about to say like, oh, it's understandable, but is it really? It's not really understandable that they were like dickheads, but it is what it is. And that happened again like a couple weeks ago. I really didn't want to go out and meet these like old people, but like I was forced to. So I went out and they took the piss out of me for the meal prep, and then yeah, but all I thought about is the future, and I thought about like after these 90 days, I'll be the person that I want to be. I'll have the physique that I want to have, and all the work that I put in compounds over time, and the time will pass by anyway, and my results will show. That's the thing. Yeah, I generally forgot the title of the video. Wait, give me 1 second. Wait. Oh yeah. No one talks about the middle stage of the card. That's fucking embarrassing. But, like, you just see how fucking sick I am. But yeah, another thing I want to talk about is parents. And my parents see me like working, going to the gym every single day, and especially like the past like couple weeks, and like during that middle stage especially, because I said like I'm a bit past that stage now, because I can see my abs coming in. And especially mentally for me, it's so much easier when you just have that slight glimpse of hope into the future, and you see like that visual sign that everything you're doing is working. Then you get this fucking boost. And I'll talk about that soon, but like it's amazing. It's a really good feeling, because then it's like, yeah, fucking proof right there, and you don't have to talk, you don't have to listen to all this shit that people are yapping. But yeah, your parents, they see you doing all of this bullshit, right? They see you weighing your food, they see you obsessively hitting your protein, they see you making your own food because you don't want to eat theirs, because you need your protein, you need your macros. They see you taking protein powder, they see you going to spending hours at the gym having to do your cardio. They see you rejecting sweets because you don't want to fuck up like your calories. They see you like packing your own food. They don't understand, and they criticize you a lot. If you have supporting parents, then consider yourself really lucky, because a lot of us don't have supporting parents, and a lot of us have parents that speak a lot of shit and really try and bring you down for some reason. And I don't know what it is, but they just like chatting a lot of shit about you, and they will do it to your face as well. They'll call you useless and like make fun of your like dreams and make fun of all your aspirations, and ask you, is like gym the only thing you're doing and only thing you care about? And when you're between this ages of 16 to 19, and you haven't got an aesthetic lean physique, and if you've made a promise to yourself that you're going to go through these 90 days and these are going to be your 90 days of transformation, then yes, gym should be the only thing that you care about. Your diet, gym, hitting your macros should be the only thing that you care about. And when they ask that question, like, I just think to myself, yeah, is. I never say that to their faces, because then it goes into very, very bad arguments. But yeah, but it's like they cast so much doubt on you, and like, when your own parents like cause you to like doubt yourself so much and criticize your own journey, it becomes really hard. And especially back then, when I had everyone around me, all my friends and my parents took all of this shit, then yeah, it gets tough. But now I've cut my like friends off for this period of time. When I come back to them, I go back, I speak to them because they're good people. They're fun people to be around. They do it like unknowingly, right? They make fun of me like about my physique and like all that, and like all my goals and stuff. But like they are fun people to be around, and like I do I do like being around them and like hanging out with them. But I do need to achieve this goal of mine first. And once I achieve this goal, it feels so much better to hang out with them because I just know in my mind like I've done it. Like I've done this big section of my life. And if that doesn't make so much sense, then yeah, it's okay. Because I'll expand on that soon. But it's like it's this feeling of relief when you've achieved a goal, such as getting lean in 90 days. Then you can just hang out with your friends like with ease, right? But back to the point about your parents, right? When they criticize you so much, especially when like the hardest part is when you're not like there's no progress being shown. When you look in the mirror every single day and you look the fucking same, and you're in that 4 week period, like it lasts around 4 weeks, where like there's not much change, and like you even though you're hitting all your calories, you're doing all your cardio, you're training abs, you're going hard in the gym every day, but there's no change. Then it gets really tough because you almost think like, are they right? Are they right to criticize me this much? Am I wasting my time? And yeah, it's tough. You know you're on the right path, and you know if you just keep pushing a couple more weeks, just like let the words just pass over you. Don't internalize it. Just like treat it as background noise in through one ear out the other, and don't internalize it so much, and don't think about it so much. And eventually it'll pass by. Eventually those 4 weeks will pass by, and you'll be on day. I think it's well on around day 29 now, and you'll reach your goal, and you'll be glad that you you didn't take any of this shit seriously. You didn't listen to your friends. You only listen to yourself because you know how much this goal means to you, and you did it. Became lean. So yeah, I just want to talk about that because nobody talks about the middle stage, and yeah. Once again, I'm sorry for being kind of sick, but there's no excuse. I still want to get a video out like every single day. Like that's my goal. I missed Monday, but that's fine. Like oh well, because I was literally dying. But I got this video out. So yeah, see you in the next one.